Yeah, I didn't mean to pause at this moment. I just wanted to build the anticipation of this final fight between Abby and Ellie. And it's symbolic because Ellie was the I get what they were trying to do, and I'll touch more on that until I get done with this final sequence. It's well done. I like how it's being handled, but this is technically the ending, and it's sad because what the last fight with Abby and Ellie was, it was just a massacre. Okay, let's finish this. Let's finish where we started. Shit! These women are. Ooh! 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 I think she took her fingers off. Ellie, finish her off. Finish what you started. Damn it! You're gonna do this to us. No, you didn't. Damn you, Abby, you took two of her fingers.
Just take him.
Shit. Did Abby win? Abby won. Oh, shit, she lost her fingers. I knew they were... I knew they were gone. So, the game doesn't even give you a choice. All that time, all her revenge, she killed everybody else, even Tommy too. But she lets go... She lets the person who killed Joe go. My God, that's a risky gambit. Again, just like Joe's death. Alright. let's finish it to the end. And Abby gets away. She's still out there. She's not here, isn't she? Is there even a letter? It's kind of ironic. Dina was gung-ho and ready to die, ride or die with Ellie the entire time. Man. I mean, can we really blame Dina for leaving Ellie? After Ellie just decided to just say, I want revenge and I'm gonna get that whatever it takes. Alright. She can't play it because her fingers are gone. Gosh, Naughty Dog. And of course, twisting the soul in her wounds more.
What are you drinking? that?
Those people that came through last week.
Oh.
A little embarrassed as to what I had to trade to get it, but it's not bad.
I had Seth under control.
Yeah, I know.
And you need to stop harassing Jesse about my patrols.
Okay. Dina. Is she your girlfriend?
No. No, that was just one kiss. It doesn't mean anything. She just... I don't know why she did that.
But you do like her.
So stupid.
I have no idea what that girl's intentions are, but I do know that she would be lucky to have you.
You're such an asshole.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered. But you took that from me.
If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think I can ever forgive you for that. But I would like to try.
I'd like that.
No, I'm gonna cry. Darn it.
Okay. I'll see you around.
Yep.
Oh. Hmm? That's a different song. Huh.
I'm just a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. There is no sickness, no toil, nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I know dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way is rough and steep, but beauteous fields lie just before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home.
I'll soon be free from earthly trial. This body red in the old churchyard. I'll drop this cross of self-denial and go singing home to God. I'm going there to see my Savior. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going.
Oh. Well, that's symbolic. Oh, crap. Finally done with this game. That took for... How long did that take me? $36 in total. Okay. Let's give a quick verdict of what I thought about this game. Okay, so it makes sense why it was a green atmosphere at the very title screen. It was intentional. They know it. The green atmosphere and foggy, and there was just no sunlight. That just meant that revenge, Ellie and Abby, they were just focused on revenge. Their mind was clouded with revenge. Nothing mattered to them except getting revenge. For a fact. Alright, so in terms of the symbolism, I think other people could touch upon it. So to get to the verdict, is it better than the first one? I'm sorry to say no, but are you going to enjoy the game? It's going to be a divisive game. It's going to be such a divisive game. My personal preference, I wanted to give this a 10. I really did want to give it a 10. It does so many great things besides the first one. But I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. You're probably wondering, yo, why are you giving this a 9 out of 10? This game sucks. They killed Joe in the first 2 hours. Why would you defend a game like that? I'm not defending the game. I'm being subjective. Before you post all the hate comments like, I basically like Abby, or basically, I'm a Naughty Dog fan. I am a Naughty Dog fan for their earlier work. Is this one of my favorite ones? I wouldn't say it's not my favorite one, but it's something I enjoy. Okay, so why am I giving it a 9 out of 10? I'm going to go into the negative. Abby does start off in the wrong foot. She starts off... She's a bad guy. She's a bad guy from the beginning all the way to the end. You can try to sympathize, or what Neo, Druckmann, Naughty Dog just try to do with her. You can try to make Abby relatable, empathize, sympathize in her storyline, try to give her as much flashbacks, but the way that they set it up, after they just killed off 2 characters that we like, Jesse and Joel. That's not a spoiler. Whoever's played the game, just come on, seriously. You just watch my YouTube videos, and I've showed everything from the beginning to the end. But that's why I gotta take a point off, because making Abby sympathetic after the fact, after she did some pretty horrific things, terrible things, like Ellie, that's where the flaw comes into play. Joe's death hit me hard because he didn't give a chance to fight back. He didn't have a choice. We didn't get any control. We got control of Abby, but before then, and then after that, he's gone. If they showed her dad before that, I like the relationship between her dad, but it was so brief. So there's no connectivity. There's no empathetic nature I want to go with Abby. Because they did that after the fact, after major characters we like gets killed or one's about to get killed, you know what happens? It feels disconnected. You don't feel you're not on board with Abby. You understand her, but she's not your favorite character, and why you won't like her as much is because she does some, like I said, she kills Joe in the very first 2 hours, and then we get no background. We don't know who she is. We don't know why she killed her until after the fact. The game could have benefited if they put that towards the beginning, or just at least the first 2 hours, or just something at the beginning in the prologue, like Ellie. We already knew about Ellie from the first game. There's nothing needs to be explained because we already know her background. And if you were trying to make it her story, it would make sense to put Abby at the very beginning, so that way, if Joe was killed, there would have been justification. Joe was no saint. I will state that for a fact, and we know that. But come on, you can't just introduce a villain that you want us to empathize and actually play only after the fact, after they just did really, really crappy stuff, just really terrible stuff. That's a major flaw, and that's gonna make the game divisive, and that's gonna make people refund their money. Naughty Dog, I'm only letting you know, taking a risky gambit. It would only been good if you understood what you were. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I'm salty. I'm salty about Joel's death. That they're gonna have to do a lot, and there's gonna be a part 3. There's just no way that the way that they let that open ended, that Abby's. Well, Abby's alive, and Lev is alive too, barely, but let's face it, they're alive, and they will probably be characters in part 3. Abby will probably get killed, but let's face it, Ellie is still alive too. What else? What else? That was really the major flaws that I didn't like the way that they handle Abby in terms of her story placement. They just, so many things could have been improved with Abby if they just placed it the right way, or just did it narratively that made sense. The way they placed it, it made sense after the fact, but it just wasn't done in a great concrete way. It was not a great transition. Just from that major character death with Jesse. It just did not make sense. Other than that, besides Joel's death and all that, another flaw I will actually probably surprise you, what I didn't like, it was actually the trading cards, the collectibles. The collectibles, when it was the backstory, expanding the backstory of the world, or just immersing you, or just telling us details of what this world went to before we move on to the next set piece and just kind of get a more expanded world from the first Last of Us. The collectibles are a waste of time, except for the letters or the combination locks that gives you more ammo. Anything with train cards, but they're just busy work. They're just padding to just progress the story, and you need them because you need to upgrade your weapons, you need to upgrade your skills. It makes sense, but I'm not gonna lie, the collectibles are kind of a waste of time. Not like the first one. They were not they were, you could say, busy work, but they were introducing you to the first game. They wanted to set the tone that every resource is important. It's a life or death situation. While Last of Us Part 2 is a sequel, it's just continuing that. It's a life-death situation with the resource gathering. But it's busy work, and they put too much. And I get it, it's a bigger game, longer hours, but it was padding, and it was unnecessary. And there were a few times I was like, please, get rid of those collectibles, and let me just focus on the game. It took me out of the experience too many times that I was just going like, stop adding more collectibles, stop adding more nitpicking, stop adding more materials. I just want the essentials, and then let me get back to the game. Because I was actually enjoying it, but it took me out every single time. But yeah, apart from Joel's death, how they place Abby narratively in the collectibles, that was enough that I had to take a point off because those were glaring issues that I was annoyed by, especially with Abby, and that they intentionally manipulate us to sympathize or to understand her, but they did it a very stupid way. And then the way they did it with Joel, they didn't have to do it with Joel. If it was Jesse, we would still hate her guts, but they did it with Joel, and so we can't forgive her. We can't like her because she killed somebody we actually liked. That's why people are mad. And in order to actually make it up to the fans, or to just help people get over it, or to actually kind of restore your faith, Naughty Dog, you're gonna have to just kind of go, if you're gonna do Abby again, tread lightly, or just make her sympathetic, or make her do nicer stuff, or assist Ellie, instead of just being, well, a bad guy. If you're gonna do the Abby again in part 3, you're gonna have to do a better job. That's plain and simple. That's a fact. There's just no other way you can do that. You gotta fix that. Fix that, and part 3 will win fans over. Especially if it's gonna be the last game. Which, I think you should end it with that in the last game. End it there. Just conclude that story. Just don't do any more at that point. Everything ends good if it's a trilogy. I've seen that too many times of good trilogies that end, and that's it. Move on. Alright, so enough about my rant. Now, positive. The positive is I did like the narrative. Not as much as the first one. I did like it, but let's face it, when you're comparing the Last of Us 1 Part 1 perfect story, near perfect story, Last of Us Part 2, just can't compare, but it's still good. I loved it from the beginning, loved it to the end, and I'll explain why. It's just that behind the scenes of what we didn't see in the first one, it gave us context. I like the perspective of the world from the beginning to the end because they expanded it. It wasn't just black and white that we were trying to be shown with Elliot and Abby. It was gray areas, lots of gray areas, and I like a lot of story moments that they did with the flashbacks that were really outdone the first one. Not just that, I like the character moments. I like really the voice acting with the story. I was invested with the characters, and I hate to say it, and I'm gonna get some hate comments. I was even invested in Abby's story. Her flashbacks suck. Her flashbacks suck for a fact. They're not as strong as Ellie. You just can't fix that because you can't sympathize with someone who just did some pretty terrible stuff. But I was actually invested with Abby's present storyline more than her flashback or anything in her past. I didn't care about her past, but I care about her present. Anything that she did with Lev or Yara, that's where I was focused, and that where her story got better. Especially when they introduced the Rat King and introduced the war between the wolves and the Scars. It was so interesting. They had interesting material, but it didn't help with Joel's death. But the narrative was cool, especially when we got to explore Seattle like an actual open world sandbox. And it was so cool. It was so cool just doing that day one, that Take On Me reference, so many cool stuff, introducing the Shambler, the Battle of Haven, the flashback scenes, to the farmhouse scene that was actually still top notch, and then we get to Santa Barbara. Narrative wise, I loved it. I loved it. It's just not as great as the first one. And in terms of the ending is gonna be divisive, but I see what they were going. I like that it was good to open to interpretation for the second ending. I know I'm rambling. I'm about to end it. But the first game ending is still timeless and still perfect for good reason, because the way they end it, it was a better interpretation. The second one, you don't know where it's going. And so, as a result, there's no kind of like open future or where this will go next, because they kind of left it too open-ended with the second one. I didn't hate the ending. I will admit, I didn't hate the ending, but it's too open-ended that I don't know where it's going to go, so it's kind of sad because we don't know there's going to be a part 3, and they end it here. Man, that they got a lot to make up for. Another thing that I love about this game that I'm willing to give it a 9 out of 10. Gameplay is pitch perfect. It's better than the first one. If being subjective wise, it's better than the first one. To the prone, the new weapons you get, to the new upgrade system, to the stealth approach I love with Ellie, to the action heavy I like with Abby, they're both perfectly balanced, and I love playing as both characters. I know I'm gonna get hate with Abby, but I like playing her because she is so boss in her gameplay. It's so precise, and she gets the better weapons, and they're fun to use with Abby. And the stealth, if I want to exercise and utilize all my stealth section with Ellie, I get that. There's a good balance of stealth and action, and so many great set pieces. Special mention goes to the set pieces. You can see it. You can see it from the 7 years, from 2013 to what they have now. They put so many time and care. You gotta give them that. You gotta give them that they really put attention to detail in terms of the gameplay, to their visuals, to the graphics, which I'm going to address next. But the gameplay was consistently fun every time, and it just got better and better until the very end. It's perfect. I think it's perfect. If they do part 3, there's not a lot to fix. There's not a lot to address. It's just perfect. I love the gameplay. If it was just the gameplay by itself, I would give it a 10 out of 10. But there's a story with it. And let's see, the visuals and the music. Music is top notch too. Hard to say. It's a tie. The music with Gustavo, with the first and second, are appropriately fitting for each game. It fits each scene, it fits every character moments. It's perfect. Nothing that needs to be said. The guitar, acoustic, and the real licensed songs they use, it's utilized well in the second one that I can't complain, and the visuals push the PS4 in terms of its graphical prowess to the max. You can say what you will about this game sucking, but the graphics are just phenomenally great. It's even better than the first one that what my jaw dropped, especially when we got to New Haven or to the character models. Everything from the beginning to the end, it's just a technical marvel, and it deserves credit where it's due. Yeah, so that's my personal opinion about it. I like the game, but I can't disagree with the fans, and they actually have justification. They can do their own review videos, but that's my personal opinion. The only thing I want to address, the time crunch with the employees, we can't disregard that. Even if it was a hacker that was her third party, let's face it, it could have also been a disgruntled Naughty Dog employee who was not paid. He was not paid handsomely or for working his butt off to create this game. I don't think that's not a rumor. I think that's a fact. The fact that Naughty Dog actually, and it's sad that they force their employees to do crunch time to produce a game like that, we gotta thank the people who actually sacrificed their time, their family, just to create this game, and we gotta give credit where they do. They sacrificed their entire life, their friends, their families, their personal lives. I don't know their personal hygiene to give us this, and you gotta give them credit with that. Time crunch with companies is just horrible. But does it get the business needs done? And is it for business? Yes. And if we lived in a perfect world, this would be it would be terrible, and it would be just something that would be legal action that needed to be taken. But we're not in a perfect world, and so as a result, many people just got frustrated. The employees, I can't speak for them, but 7 years to work on this, and then not getting the pay that they want. So yeah, whoever decided to make these leaks, I can't disagree with them, because if you're not getting the pay that you want, if you're not getting the respect that you want, no, you're going to be pissed and you're going to leave a project. You're just going to leave it. So, is the time crunch justified for this game? No, I don't think that's justified at all. Believe this game should have released later, but were the leaks justified? The leaks, I can't say was justified too. I think it ruined a lot of experience for that. Really make people hate this, but you can't say it's not justified because of what Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann and other high ups are doing. So really, it's gonna be your choice. Either you can play this game or not, rent this game or not, give your subjective opinion. I enjoyed it the entire time. This was a long series, and I can't wait to actually rewatch it. So, of course, subscribe if you want, or not. Leave a comment, watch these videos, see what you think about this, and I'm ready to do another series at a later time. So, have fun, guys.